Hi everybody, this is Miss Xing and Miss Padmini with the admirable help of Mr. Steven, and this is your teachable moment. Today we're going to talk about squares, and the smallest square you can see over here is the little green square up on the top left. That is a square, and we call that a one square. A one square takes exactly one tile to make. The next bigger square that we can make is what we would call a two square, and we added the three blue pieces to make what is called a two square. We call it a two square because if you count how many tiles are on any side, you will see 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, two squares on any side. And that makes this a two square. How many squares were in our one square? It was just exactly one piece. But our two square had how many pieces? 1, 2, 3, 4. A two square is 4. A one square is 1. Now we're going to write this out on our multiplication chart. Even smaller than a 1 square is a 0 square, which is just 0. And a 1 square, which is like one box with one cookie in the box, is you will have one cookie, or it takes one green piece to make a 1 square. How many did we put to make a 2 square? We added the 3 blue pieces, and we had a total of 1, 2, 3, 4. A 2 square is 4. I wonder how many we would add to make a 3 square. It would be 3 boxes of 3 cookies, but on our little squares up in front of us, we added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces to make a 3 square. We know it's a 3 square because there's 3 on each side. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. How big is a 3 square? How many squares are in a 3 square? Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. A 3 square is 9. It's 3 boxes of 3 cookies each, or if you look at our square, it's 3 rows of 3 square pieces. 1 row, 2 row, 3 row. 3 rows, each row has 3 pieces in it, and you have 9 pieces altogether. 16 is the 4 square. I'm telling you already, it's 16. To make the 4 square, we added 7 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we have 4 rows of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And each row has 4 pieces. And so if you add 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4, or 4 times 4, or think about 4 boxes of 4 cookies each, that is 16 altogether. Keep going. To get a 5 square, we add 9 pieces, and the 5 square is 5 rows of 5 each. It's 5 boxes of 5 cookies, and the total is, you can count by 5s to find out. Let's count our 5 rows. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. 5 square is 25. The 6 square is going to be, we added about 11 pieces, and the total of 6 rows of 6 squares in each row is 36. 6, you can count by 6s, I can show you. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36. So you can count them individually, or you can just remember. So let's remember what we did so far. That's 6 boxes of 6 cookies is 36. Let's remember what we did so far. A 0 square is 0. It's just nothing. A 1 square is 1. A 2 square is 4. 3 squares 9. 4 squares 16. 5 squares 25. 6 squares 36. You can just remember to remember that. Remember to remember that a 6 square is 36. I can tell you what the 7, 8, and 9 squares are. Shall I tell you what the 7, 8, and 9 squares are? Let's show where the 7 square is on our squares. That's the red. You're adding so many pieces to make a 7 square. You can see there are 7 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. A 7 square is 49. An 8 square is 64. 9 square is 81. Now a 10 square, I bet you could help me find out what the 10 square is. It's going to be 10 rows of 10 in each row. 10, and then 10 in the next row, and 10 in the next row, and so on. But there are 10 rows of this. So if we count by 10 times, you would get 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. 10 square is 100. 11 square is 121. And 12 square is 144. Do you know how I know those? Well, at first I actually counted to make sure, but then after I counted to make sure, I knew that 11 square is 121, and I just remembered to remember that. So I now just remember it. 11 square is 121. 12 square is 144. And so you can always count to double check, and then you can just remember to remember. Okay, now when we go back to our multiplication chart that we were filling out earlier, we have some blanks left on this chart, but let's find the squares on this chart. Can we find the 0 square on this chart? 0 and 0 is 0. The 1 square is 1. Ones are 1. You can see the 1 square up here in the green. That's the 1 square. The 2 square is 4, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can find the 2 square. 2 boxes of 2 cookies is 4. Where can we find the 3 boxes of 3 cookies? 3 boxes, 3 cookies is 9. 4 boxes of 4 cookies, 16. 5 squared is 5 times 5, 25. And we have some blanks. We don't know the 6 by 6. What is 6 times 6, or the 6 square? And we can go back to our squares and see our 6 square. There's our 6 square. 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 rows of 6 squares. And the total number of pieces in that 6 square is 36. 7 squared, 49. 8 squared, 64. And then we already have the 81, which is 9 squared. The 100, which is 10 squared. 121, 11 squared. And then remember, our 12 squared is 144. So let's recite our perfect squares. 0, 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 64, 81, 100, 121, and 144. Good job, you guys. Now you have only a very few squares left on your multiplication table. Thank you very much, everybody. This is Miss Xing and Miss Padmini with the admirable help of Mr. Steven. That was your teachable moment.